Today I'll be showing you how to DIY your own design on an IKEA side table, or really any side table that is wood or canvas based. I started out with sketches for my design. The table I chose is square, so it was relatively easy to draw out a concept. If the table you pick has different side lengths, then consider drawing your sketch to scale. Here are the things you'll need: your sketch for reference, a measuring tape, which doubles as a ruler, something to draw with, masking tape, paint and a paintbrush, sealant and an applicator. I've also added Amazon links to the supplies in my description. All right, now it's time to get creating. I find it easier to start the design from the center. Once I got the center lines drawn, it was easy to freestyle the left and right side. I didn't quite follow my sketch, so here's me telling you that you can definitely be creative. Now, after the sketch is complete, it's time to tape it up. Once the tape is on, you can go right ahead and paint. One tip I have for you is that if you're going to use translucent colors like green, red, or yellow to paint, then skip the lead pencil. Use the paint itself to draw lines or chalk so that you can easily wipe it off before applying the paint. Here, I'm using acrylic paint, and any brand works. Acrylic dries like plastic, so please be careful when you take the tape off. I know that it's so satisfying, but here, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. The first coat of paint went on easy. For opaque colors, I used 2 to 3 coats, and for translucent colors, I used 4 to 5 coats. Now make sure to let it dry completely in between so that overall you're going to need fewer coats. I used this thin brush to fill in any spots where the paint had ripped off. If you make a mistake or don't like how a color turns out, you can cover it up easily by either using an opaque color like white. For example, here, I didn't like how the yellow turned out, so I covered it up with white and left it there. Next up, we need to seal the paint in varnish. I'm an amateur in this department, but it was relatively easy to find at Home Depot. I went for a semi-gloss, water-based varnish suitable for wood surfaces. You'll need to mix the varnish. Please don't shake it. I used a foam brush to spread it, but any brush will do. Make sure it doesn't pick up too much product, and definitely don't use a roller. So what you're seeing here is the wrong way to do it. You want to keep the product to a thin layer and have small intentional strokes. You do need to work fast because it does start to dry, but I was working way too fast. It was Soup City. I'd also recommend covering your workspace so that any excess product off of the sides can drip down. Make sure you wipe off any excess product right off the bottom. You need to let this dry at least 2 hours before a recoat. Now remember when I said don't shake the varnish? Well, if you shake the varnish, it creates bubbles, just like you see here. I learned that the hard way, so whatever you do, do not shake the can. Now here's another tip I have for you. When you let this air dry, please make sure it's in a space that's free from excess dust and animals. My dog's hair got caught on the white section, and there was nothing I could do about it. Lesson learned. So here you can see that the excess product I used dried unevenly, which is why it's super key to use small strokes with a thin layer of varnish. I waited about 24 hours once it was fully dry before the grand reveal, and honestly, it looks great with the matching pillows. I'm really happy with how it turned out despite the hiccups, and I'll be sure to share more projects with you as they come up. Hope you enjoyed it, and happy creating!